Hello guys, how are you all? I hope you all are doing good. So this is my lecture number 2 of correlation, right? In the first lecture I had discussed the concept of the correlation and the meaning of correlation coefficient. I hope you all are make the notes, right, of that lecture, right? Make the proper notes, only then you can able to understand the whole chapter. Now I have discussed that there are three methods. I have discussed that there are three methods to find the correlation coefficients or to know the nature and the degree of the correlation between the two variables. First one is the scatter diagram method, second one is the Karl Pearson product moment method, and the third one is Spearman rank correlation method. Now let us discuss the each method in detail. The first one is the scatter diagram method. Now by this method we draw the diagram and we know the nature of the correlation between two variables by on the basis of the diagram, right? So what is scatter diagram? So when all the values of x and y are plotted on the graph, when all values of x and y variable are plotted on the graph and the diagram so often is called what? Scatter diagram, right? Now look, the practical questions based on this scatter diagram is not expected in the board examination, but yes, MCQ or 1 mark short question definitely expected in the board examinations. So it is really easy. Understand the concept. Now if you draw the diagram, if you plot the x variable and the y variable on the graph and you obtain this kind of line, right? You can see this is what is this? This is the intersection point where x and y intersect each other. You can see this kind of dot line is we get. So whenever you get the dot line from the left to right in the upward position or straight line, so in this case we can interpret that there is a perfect positive correlation between the two variables. So let's read the definition. If all points of the scatter diagram line on the one line, if the line is going in upward direction from left to right, then it shows perfect positive correlation between two variables x and y, right? So in the MCQ they will ask you this. How? Okay, बोलेंगे तुमको के identify the perfect positive correlation from the diagram, following diagram. So they will provide you the 4 options. So when you see this kind of dotted line which is going upward from left to right, so that is perfect positive correlation. Now okay, so second, now you can see the second image, right? You can see you can see dot are there on the graph, but it is not in the straight line that we saw in the previous one. You can see in the previous one all the dots are in the perfect line, but you can see here the dots are not in the line. That means some are here, some are here, some are here. So yes, that is the line, the line is going upward, but the dot are not in the line. So whenever you see this kind of graph, or whenever you see this kind of diagram, so it's indicate what? Partial positive correlation. मतलब लाइन तो ऊपर जा रही है, मतलब डॉट ऐसे ऊपर तो जा रहे हैं from left to right in upward position, but it is not in the line. So it's indicate partial positive correlation. So if all the points of scatter diagram are not on one line but lie around the line and which is going upward direction from left to right, then it indicates there is a partial positive correlation between variable x and y. Now let us see third one, where you can see all the points are in the one line, but it is going downward. That means from left to right, downward directions. So whenever you see this kind of diagram, it indicates perfect negative correlation, right? Then after again, look this, all the intersection points are going downward, but not in the one line, but it is lie around the line. So it's a what? Partial negative correlation. And whenever you see this kind of, right, dots, you can see the intersection dots are not making any line upward or downward, so it indicates non-linear correlation, that is absence of correlations, right? Absence of the cause and effect relationship, so it indicates lack of correlation, right? So these are the 5 images that you have to remember. These all are the 5 images that you have to remember. It can be asked in the MCQ, it can be asked in a short questions, right? So it's a very really important one, and in between take the screenshot or make the notes, right? Now we understand the concept of the scatter diagram. Now let us understand the questions based on the scatter diagram. It's a really simple one, and as I am again telling you that this is this is not expected in the board examinations, right? But still it can be asked in your school exam. So let us understand the questions, right? The following information is collected to study the relationship between the minimum day temperature and the sale of woolen clothes during a particular day of winter for the 6 different cities. So minimum day temperature is given and the sale of woolen clothes is given. Now draw the scatter diagram from this information and interpret. So we will use this x variable and y variable data, and we plot on the graph, and the diagram we will obtain. On the basis of the diagram we will interpret. That means we will interpret whether it's a partial, perfect negative, perfect positive, right? So we will first input the data. So on the x-axis we will input minimum day temperature, right? Minimum day temperature, and on the y-axis we will input the sale of woolen clothes, right? So this is my y-axis. Now you can see the data is given here. This is our x and this is our y. 12, 20, 8, 5, 15 and 24. You can see the minimum value is 5 and maximum value is 24. So I think I would take the scale of 3. 1 centimeter is equal to 3. So this is 3, this is 6, 9, 12, 15, this is 18, 21 and 24, right? So you can take this like this approximate, but that must be the distance must be equal, at least equal. You have to try that the distance at least equal, so that you will get the perfect diagram. Then after, you can see on the y-axis maximum value is 70, minimum value is 8. So I think I will take 1 centimeter is equal to 10, right? So like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and 60 and the 70. Now we just mark the intersection point. You can see 12 is the number and 12, 35. So you can see 12 and it intersect here approximately. So 35 is here, right? So that is my intersection point 12, 35. Then after 20, 10. So 20 will approximately here. So here 20 and 10. So this is approximately this one. then 8:45. So 8, this is 8 and this is 8 and this one is 45, so approximately here, right? Then 570, so this is my 5 number and 70, so approximately here. Then 1520, so this is my 15 and this is 20, right? 24 8, so 24 and approximately here. Okay, so आपको क्या लग रहा है कौन सा डायग्राम होगा? So it's downward. You can see the all intersection point indicate downward line, and it is not on the exact line but it is lie around the line, so it indicates what? Partial negative correlation. Thus there is partial negative correlation between minimum day temperature and sale of woolen clothes. ठीक है? Here you can write the scale that on x-axis 1 centimeter is equal to 3 and on the y-axis 1 centimeter is equal to what? 10. Right, this is the Celsius, so you just indicate here Celsius and here the clothes in the 1000 units. So simple, you can see this is very simple. You have to just you have to just prepare the diagram and just when there is an intersection you have to just make an intersection point and you have to just interpret it whether it's a partial, perfect or negative correlation. Simple, right? Okay, so let us take the next question. Okay, so next एक और क्वेश्चन देख लेते so that your concept will become more stronger, right? So the ball pen making company wants to know the relation between the price and the supply of its most selling gel pen. Ball pen making company wants to know the relation between the price and the supply of its most selling gel pen. The following information is collected for it and draw the scatter diagram and interpret it. So again the price and the monthly supply is given and we have to draw this diagram and we have to know the nature of the the nature of the correlation between these two variables. So first we'll take the on x-axis price and on the y-axis we will take monthly supply. Right, so price you can see 14, 16, minimum value is given 11 and maximum value is given 17. So I think we will take a scale of here again 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 and 18, right? And here on the y-axis 53 is maximum value and the minimum value is 12, so I think 10 is a good perfect scale, 20, 30, 40 and 50, right? Now on the 14, 32 is the intersection, so 14 पे 32, so approximately it is come here. Yes, so make it intersection point. Then on 16 it is 50, so approximately here. Then on 12 20, so it's approximately here. Then after 11 12, so it's come here 11 and it's 12 here, I think approximately here. Right, then after 15:45, so come approximately 15 here and 45. Then after 13:30, seventeen 53. So you can see that it is going upward from left to right in upward directions, my all intersection point, but it is not in one line, it is lie around the line. So what it is, it is a partial positive correlation between price and supply. Right? Okay, so these are the two questions that I have solved right now to explain you the scatter diagram method. In all the questions you have to do the same thing. You have to show the value of x on the x-axis, y on the y-axis. You have to take the proper scale and just make the intersection point and then decide the nature of correlation. Right? Okay.